Hello cellists, and welcome to the 5th episode of this mini lesson series on Sebastian Lee's Opus 101. For this one we have the 5th etude, and let's see what is interesting about this one. For starters, this is the first etude in 8th notes, and quite a lot of students feel intimidated because they feel that it is going to be very fast, but it's not. If you see above the etude, it has an andante marking, and that means that the tempo will be at a walking pace, and that means about 80 or more beats per minute. So it's not going to be da 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 da, but da da dee da dee da dee da dee da 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 da. A quite feasible tempo. The next thing that makes students feel quite overwhelmed by this etude is that it has a million of notes, as you can plainly see. But these are not just random notes. One of the first things I do with my students on this etude is explain to them that these notes are scales and arpeggios, just not in the way that they learn scales and arpeggios in the lessons, but they're modified in some way so that they have more musical sense. So let's see what we have here. In the first measure we have a G major arpeggio, and then when reaching the high G we then have a G major scale going backwards. In the second measure we have again a G major arpeggio, but this time starting on the B, and when we reach the top, on the top B, we again have a G major going backwards. In the third measure we again have a G major arpeggio with a passing tone of A between G and B, and then we have an A minor arpeggio with a passing tone of B between A and C. In the last measure of the first system we have again a G major arpeggio, which leads to this F sharp, which is the leading tone in G major. And then in the next system we have yet again another G major arpeggio, which leads to an F sharp diminished chord, which is actually a D7 dominant chord, which leads quite naturally to the G major chord again, and then we have a D7. And for the penultimate and final measures we again have a G major chord. So as you can see, this whole etude is composed of various chords and scales. Technically speaking, again we have here our beloved brackets, which help us in maintaining a steady compass in our left hand. And we also have our beloved fourth finger following after an open string, which is usually quite hard, but these arpeggios are perfect for practicing this kind of thing. So for example, in the first measure you should have an open left hand, a very steady and healthy compass, not with your hand being like this with compressed fingers together, not like this. So, and not. The other technical thing that we need to take care of is the coordination between the left hand and the right hand, because these are fast notes here. You have to make sure that the left hand is fingering the note and then you're bowing with your right hand. So we don't want to have that. This is quite common for beginners, so you have to be very vigilant in your practice, that your left hand and right hand are in good coordination. That means that the left hand is fingering the note and then the right hand is bowing the note. So let's see how this plays. So that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope you learned something new. I hope you're staying safe. And until the next time, happy practicing!